All right, it is August 1st today, guys. And that means it is Three Rivers Homestead's, the beginning of her Every Bit Counts challenge. I haven't ever participated in this before. I find, maybe more so than August, September is a huge preserving month for us here in Zone 5 Canada. But things have started to come in, and we are going away later this week. And so over the last couple days, I have actually started preserving some things because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it every day in August, at least this early part of August. So I will go ahead and share that with you now. Okay, we're preserving some herbs today. I have some sage, some lemon thyme, and I have some parsley. I have both the curly and the Italian flat leaf. I prefer the Italian flat leaf, but the curly I find just grows a lot more robustly. And so I'll dry them both and mix them together. But the first thing I have to do, because we have had major earwig issues this year, is I have to give these a really good wash, especially the parsley. I know that the earwigs have been munching on it. You can see some leaves that they've eaten here. And I don't know if you know this or not, but like the droppings from earwigs can actually contain E. coli. Like if you have a drilled well and earwigs get underneath your cap, that can actually cause E. coli in your water. So I want to make sure I get all of that off of the leaves. So I will start by giving them a really good wash. Then I'm going to put them in, this is my dehydrator. It wasn't an expensive dehydrator, but it works quite well. I have also dried my herbs just by hanging them to dry. What I like to do is make bundles and hang them from my lamp. So dehydrator, lamp, drying racks, whatever gets the job done. But first we start with washing the herbs. All right, we've got them all ready to go. I've got 2 trays of the parsley, 1 of the sage, and 2 of the thyme. My particular dehydrator just has the 5 trays, so this worked out really well. I'll go ahead and stack my trays here. And the way mine works, they can fit down close, or there's actually somewhere where there's actually I don't know if you can see that extra gap. There's these little notches that you can actually set up the trays higher if you need more space, but I think for the herbs we can go ahead and just lay them down tight. A little hard to do one-handed. And then we'll get a stem sticking out there. Tuck that back under. Get our lid on. Now this will probably take about a day to fully dehydrate. And during the next 24 hours, I will probably come in and rearrange some of these trays. The bottom ones I'll move to the top, and the top ones I'll move to the bottom. It does have the center hole for the air to flow, but I do find that the bottom trays dry a little quicker. So I've got it set fairly low. This is just at the lowest setting is 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got this set at 105, and I'm just gonna flick it on. Okay, so I wanted to show you what we ended up with dried herbs the other day. I was completely out of parsley, so This is the amount of parsley we got out of that 2 trays in the dehydrator. This is way not enough parsley for us for the year, but I will continue to harvest and dry as it becomes available. This is the lemon thyme that we ended up with. This little jelly jar here is almost half full. We don't use a whole lot of thyme, so this a couple more harvests in this one little jar will be plenty to last us for the year. And the same goes for sage. So we've got, I just wrote, I don't know if you can see it, I just wrote with a Sharpie on the jar. If you guys have never done this, Sharpie works awesome on mason jars, and with just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, it comes right off. So often I don't take the time to label, find my labeler, make sure it has batteries, that kind of thing. I just write right on the jars. And I didn't break these leaves down as much as I did for the parsley and stuff. I just kind of stuffed them in there and made sure everything fit, and that's how much sage we got. So that will be a little project that I continue for the rest of the summer when I have enough herbs that need to be picked and I can load up the dehydrator. I will go ahead and do that. All right, I have just picked a bunch of basil, and I have this overflowing bowl just full. This is, I weighed it, it is about 80 grams of basil, and I am going to try to preserve it a different way than I've ever done before. I saw a video by Crystal at Whole Fed Homestead. I followed her on Instagram for quite a number of years, and she does now also have a YouTube channel, which is amazing. She also wrote the book Freeze Fresh, which I got for Christmas, which is awesome. But I'm going to try preserving this basil the way she has outlined in her video. We have already preserved lots of basil pesto. It's already in the freezer. And I know there will be time that this basil will rebound and we'll have another harvest, like this, still before the end of the season, possibly even 2. So if we decide we do want more pesto, we will have more pesto. But essentially what she does is she strips all the stems, which I would do for pesto anyway. And rather than, I have tried essentially finely chopping the basil and preserving it in ice cube trays in olive oil. But what she likes to do is preserve the leaves whole, and she will put them in a bowl with a drizzle of olive oil and make sure that all of the leaves are coated, and then she freezes the leaves whole. So that way you use a lot less olive oil, which, rightly so, she says is a lot more versatile. So we are going to do that today. Okay, so we've got the basil all picked, and she did give measurements, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and drizzle a couple tablespoons of olive oil over the leaves. And then I'm going to mix it with my hands and make sure I get the leaves completely coated in olive oil. Okay, I think you can see everything is well coated. I don't see any dry areas on any of the leaves, including the undersides. I was as gentle as I could be, but I'm sure I have bruised some of the leaves, but that's fine. So then the only thing she did is she packed the leaves into a freezer bag. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm going to try to flatten everything out a little bit so that it packs well in the freezer. And try to get as much air out as I can. And I'm going to stick that in the freezer. Okay, another thing I want to get dealt with today is we have an awful lot of snow peas in the fridge that I want to get blanched and frozen. I want to make our own stir-fry mixes this year, and these will be one of the ingredients in that. They're ready before a lot of the other things, but that's okay. We can get those frozen ahead of time and ready. You will see there's the odd shelling pea in here that I had growing in the green stock, and just threw them in here. But as I go through and trim all of these peas, I will pick these ones out and quite honestly probably snack on them. Okay, I've got my peas. They've been washed and the blossom end has been taken off. The strings have been taken off. They are ready to be blanched. Now, do you have to blanch these in order to freeze them? No. Have I done it without blanching? Yes. So why would I want to blanch them versus straight freezing them? So I will go ahead and just freeze them with no further prep if it's something we're going to eat right away. These are something that I want to add to a stir fry mix, and we will be adding to it as the season goes, freezing the individual elements separately and until we have everything, and then we'll be making our mix. So these are not something we're going to be eating right away. If I were to freeze these without blanching them, there is an enzyme in most vegetables that will continue to break down and deteriorate the fruit or vegetable even frozen. So in order to stop that enzyme, we're going to blanch it. The heat will actually kill it. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got them in my little steamer basket here. My water has come to a boil. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I don't have a lot of water in there, but we are only blanching this for 3 minutes. So there's little hooks that my steamer basket fits onto. I'm gonna go ahead, put the lid back on, and set my timer for 3 minutes. While that's going, I'm gonna get an ice bath ready. So this is about halfway through. So I'm going to give these a little stir here. This would be a little easier with 2 hands, but we'll call that done. All right, our timer's up. We're gonna get these out of here. And I'm gonna get them into the ice water. I don't actually want these to cook. We're just trying to kill the enzyme. I want them to be cooked when we go to make our meals and stuff. So where they're in the ice bath to stop the cooking immediately. Once they cool down, I'll get them either bagged up and into the freezer, or what I will probably do is stick them on a tray to flash freeze and then stick them in a bag so that they don't stick together quite as much. All right, here's our bag of peas. You can see everything stayed nice and separated. So that'll go in the freezer for later. So I hope you enjoyed those few things, that I just shared. In addition to that, I did go ahead and harvest. I am extremely sweaty in from the garden, but I harvested the majority, 60, 70% of it, of our garlic today. And that is out curing on our covered porch right now. So I will include that in a separate garlic video, but it is also part of, what we have preserved in August. So I thought I would mention it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you'll have lots more to look forward to. I haven't checked the community garden in a little over a week, so I'm hoping there's some things there that will be fun to harvest. I have to go there tomorrow. So hopefully soon, there will be things from that garden to preserve as well. So it's August, time to start preserving and tucking away for the winter, and it's gonna be fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.